My advice to you in terms of being an entrepreneur is win and crush it. Have a great GBSU. Thanks, guys. No, just kidding. No. But what I'm going to talk to you about is a set of experiences I've had both inside of companies and in owning my own business that were entrepreneurial, what I've learned from them, and what you can do to learn and apply these to your career here at MetLife. Our brokers are selling to the CFO and the risk manager, and they can't even read basic financial statements. A balance sheet, Ben, a balance sheet. I left that 44th floor, and I got out, and I took off what was my blazer, was now my poncho, and I took that off, right? And I took a deep breath, and man, my heart was just racing, because I thought, damn it, here we have this great thing, and one of our top executives does not get it, and he's about to torpedo this thing. And I thought to myself, that I have to do something to make it better. We made Joe a star within our company outside of his reporting chain. And I even just said, how can I make this better? And I landed single-handedly a huge spread for him in CFO magazine. And that's where I really learned the idea, the entrepreneurial idea, that I make it better. And you think about, what does make it better mean? Well, make it better is about running to the problem or spotting the opportunity and pouncing on it. That's a very entrepreneurial trait. How do I make it better at MetLife? And MetLife is this huge aircraft carrier behemoth of a company, right? Well, you may want to ask yourself, what's something that just frustrates the crap out of me about servicing our clients or selling, right? What's something that just is annoying or gets in the way of me being successful, right? Or enjoying my work? What's the thing that would really grow my top or bottom line in my book? The entrepreneurial side of you can look and say, I make it better. Right there in the front of that Range Rover was the birth of the idea for my startup Pilot. And what we realized is together in our conversation, we realized, gosh, like most people in their careers need help. Like everyone could use a coach. And how do we leverage technology to do that more affordably and more on demand? And working towards this launch, which took a while, right? And it's always kind of behind, almost like behind these drapes here, like behind a curtain, we're working towards this launch. And we're getting so close, but it keeps moving. And finally, about a week out, and I can't wait to stop spending money and start making money, right? And then my best person is out sick for a week. I ended up getting the flu. Our technology provider demanded all this money that wasn't in their contract. Our media plan was crap. Our website didn't look like I wanted it to look like. We just were not quite ready. But there's a will, there's a way, and we got launched a week later. And I had that bottle of champagne on ice, and I was excited after the first 30 days. Like, let's see where we're at sales-wise. And I'm checking in like I bought Bitcoin. I'm just logging in, seeing where we're at, right? And I looked at the number after 30 days, and we were at 2% of our sales goal. Can you imagine if you're at 2% of your quota for MetLife? I mean, you'd crap your pants, right? So I realized is that Start My Role has to have me outside of my comfort zone and to redefine when I can get going with things in a much more incremental way, to test and learn and grow. You do not have to wait to be trained to learn something, okay? You want to think about starting your role. And starting your role, again, is not feeling fully prepared. It's not feeling like you have all the information or that you're deeply experienced, but it's kind of getting out there. And that's where the growth and the learning happens. And so from behind the camera, the director says, rolling. And there I am in a studio recording some videos for our company. And I get the link back from the video people about a week later. And I watch it. I click on it. It's like, downloading slowly, and I watch it. And I'm thinking to myself, this better be good. I spent all this frickin' money. This better be good. And I sent it to a few people, and I got some feedback. And basically, it was like, the video is good, but something, like, you don't seem yourself, right? And I just knew something was missing, right? And I thought about it, and right there, it was like, thud. What was missing was me. And that's where I sort of learned this lesson, right? Is the more I'm me, the better I'll be. Right? If you wanted to be left alone, right, you wouldn't be in sales. Right? Hopefully. And if that doesn't make sense to you, let's talk afterwards. So, we've got a great job for you in compliance. So how do you differentiate yourself in your brand inside and outside MetLife? How are you memorable beyond being sort of a commodity person selling insurance? Part of that is being unique, and part of that is really, letting people know who you are, right? So remember, the more I'm me, the better I'll be. So I want you to consider about getting outside of your comfort zone. And frankly, if you think about making something better, it would require you to get outside of your comfort zone. Starting your role is basically all about getting outside of your comfort zone. The more I'm me, the better I'll be will definitely have you be uncomfortable to bring more of that relative to where you are. It takes some courage in getting out of your comfort zone to even be the kind of person that calls out that something could be better, and not just in the whispering, gossipy, or over drink sort of lamenting about things, but to just really take ownership and say, you know what, we're going to fix this customer experience thing, and I'm sick of this, and we're going to like fix it, and you take that ownership of it. That will get you outside of your comfort zone. But part of growth is getting some feedback. You may not even like the feedback. You may learn. And the more I'm me, the better I'll be. Self-expression can be very scary, right? As humans, we all crave sort of love and acceptance, and we fear rejection, right? But expressing yourself both in terms of your story and what's happened to you and why you are the way you are. Why are you at MetLife? Do your customers know why you're here, how you got here, why you stay, why you're engaged here? That could be a very interesting thing. You guys have some interesting stories. You've seen some really interesting things. You have to tell that, right? You have to talk about your role as a part of this larger organization, navigating life together. What's your part in that? You know, I always thought I was going to run an airline, so I haven't done that because I realized it's a hopeless business. But I named my company Pilot, so that's about as close as I get, right? And I was assigned to this group, and this is the largest helicopter operator in the world. They're in Canada. And they said, you got to help them paint the helicopters faster. And what you learn in consulting is you don't know much about something, but you brush up on it quickly, right? And so I definitely had to start my role with this. You know, it was taking 27 days to paint a little helicopter. You know, a Boeing 747-400, like one of the largest aircraft in the world, takes about 10 days to paint. It's taking them 27 to paint a little bitty helicopter, right? We mapped out in about 2-month period of time. We got it from 27 to 23 days, which may not sound... So 7 years later, I get a phone call. I'm a Canadian, remember? And he says, hey, Ben, it's Jas from the paint shop. Remember me, dude? I said, Jas? Yeah, yeah, I remember you. Like, what's up? And he said, dude, like, remember we like had the 13-day goal? We finally hit it. 7 years later, okay? And I hung up that phone, and I'll tell you that for a coach or an advisor, nothing is more gratifying than seeing people take your advice and put it into action. It's like planting a seed and watching it sprout and watching it grow. So I invite all of you to grow yourself, to grow your business. Thank you.